Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be doing an unboxing and taking a first look at the Coolpad Legacy Brisa, available for Boost Mobile. Okay, so I seen this phone here at boostmobile.com, and I was actually able to find it in my local Walmart. And I like the specs. I liked what I was seeing, and I know you're seeing some of the specs here, and you're like, well, wait till the price. Okay, just reserve judgment on this phone and wait till the price that you can buy this phone for right now. Okay, is okay, we'll see here. Okay, so here is the Coolpad Legacy Brisa. It looks a lot like the regular Coolpad Legacy that came out, but yeah, anyway, got some updated processors and stuff like that. But anyway, this can be activated on the newly expanded data network, which of course is T-Mobile and all that kind of stuff there. So here we got a 6.53-inch touchscreen display, talk time up to 21.8 hours. You got 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of onboard storage and a 2 gigahertz octa-core processor. So let's just go ahead here, then tore the box up because this box here, yeah, they make it about impossible. I mean, they use some kind of like cement tape or glue or something or another. So you can't just possibly hardly can get into these boxes anymore. And yeah, I'm struggling a little bit, but it's all right. Okay, so here is the box within the box, and if you look at it here, this will remind you of how the Coolpad Legacy for Metro by T-Mobile looked when it released. It had the same color here. As you remember or may remember, the Legacy on Boost Mobile had like a carbon fiber black, and it looked really good. I love how the original Coolpad Legacy looked here there on Boost Mobile when it came out. But this is a good look as well. So let's go ahead here and pull the top off. And on top there we have the phone. So let's go ahead and try to get that out of there. And now this is actually packing a lot of good stuff, and I want to get into all of that here in this unboxing. So let's just first of all see what we have going on here. So we got your little SIM ejector tool right there. We have what looks to be a USB Type-C charging cable there, and you got this, of course, wall brick here. It looks pretty generic, but yeah, it's there. So we'll leave that in the box because I need another charger out of the box. So yeah, let's go ahead here, put this away. All right, let's go ahead and pull the phone here out of this sleeve. And yeah, really nice stuff. We'll go ahead and put all this away. And yeah, so anyway, I'll go ahead and get all this stuff cleaned up and out of the way, and we'll look at the Coolpad. Okay, so before we get started, I want to give you some of the specs that I've seen here on the back of the box. It's got a 6.53-inch Full HD Plus IPS 19 by 5 by 9 display with cornering Gorilla Glass 3. It's got a 16 megapixel plus 5 megapixel rear facing cameras and a 16 megapixel front facing camera, a 4000 milliamp hour battery, fingerprint sensor, and facial recognition. It is certified HDR from Pixelworks and THX spatial audio for headphones. So really cool stuff going on there. Let's go ahead here and just start peeling off all of this plastic and all this stuff that don't need to be on the phone. And all right, so look at the back of it here. It does look like the Coolpad Legacy from Metro, but the design is different. If you look at the box, okay, you can see it looks like it has like a kind of like an indent right here where the cameras are at. Where here you don't see that. It's just kind of flat, okay? So the box shows it's kind of like sunk in, and it's actually a lighter color, as you can see right there. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe they didn't use the picture from last. I don't know, but this is a darker grayish looking color. Well, this looks more like a silver. And like I said, with the indent there and everything, it just looks a little different, but that's not much of a big deal. So anyway, nice looking phone. Got a plastic build back here. You can see that little design. Okay, a little design right there that kind of has some different kind of colors in it. So it looks really nice. But like I said, the frame is made out of plastic. The back is made out of plastic, of course, for the price tag. What do you really expect? And I'm going to get to the price tag, so y'all stick around for that. But anyway, on the back there, got your Coolpad branding, fingerprint scanner, your dual camera, and your flash. On the right, you got your power and your volume rocker. On top, you got a headphone jack as well as a secondary microphone, maybe two of them up there. On the left here, we do have your SIM ejector right there for your SD card and your SIM slot, which your SIM should come pre-installed, just letting y'all know that. And on the bottom here, you got your USB Type-C charging port and your bottom firing speaker, and the left one right here is not a speaker, that's just a microphone. And on top is your receiver and your little teardrop notch camera, so that's not too bad. 6.53 inch display, full HD display, by the way. So got Coolpad there, powered by Android. The phone don't feel bad. Honestly, it don't feel bad at all. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. You know, these phones are kind of slept on a little bit, but I believe they kind of brought it with this one, so especially for the price. I mean, the price is going to be, yeah, just wait for that price, all right? Okay, so we got the phone here. I'll go ahead and get it all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up here and ready to go. Now, before I get started in with just taking the run through with this phone, I do want to say that I have a bunch of videos coming out very soon. I'm going to be doing a lot of these here in bulk, and I will be releasing them, of course, in sporadic days, every couple of days, or whatever the case may be. Or just always stay tuned for the channel. And on Twitter, as I will go on there and I will post a release with a link and all that kind of good stuff as well. But yeah, so if you're new, be sure and subscribe, click that bell, press all notifications, so hopefully you'll be notified for all, videos. If you do enjoy the content any at all, try to be as helpful and informative as I can in these unboxings and first impressions and stuff like that. So, yeah, that would be much appreciated. Now, you look at the Coolpad Legacy Brisa and you're thinking, why? Well, the price, and for what you're getting, it's not bad. So let's turn the phone around here and look at that screen. That's a full 1080p display here on a phone that costs, let's just say it's cheap, okay? So it's 6.53 inches at 2340 by 1080, which is really good, okay? Now, I did have a bit of issue for some reason, hooked up to Wi-Fi, kept wanting me to sign in. I tried to sign in, so I got to figure out what's causing that. The battery is very low. It's like 9% battery here on this phone, so got to make it kind of quick. But you can also open this phone up here multiple ways by using the pin pattern or password. Also has face unlock, so we'll go ahead and check that out right now. Turn it on, and there you go. So it does work. Ain't the fastest, of course, but it does work. Fingerprint scanner also set up. Let's check that out now. And you'll see that it's definitely not the fastest. I'm pressing it right now. And it does turn on, but the animations seem to be very high or something on it. Maybe if you go in there and turn the animations down, it may seem faster. Of course, we're going to test that later on here as well. Not this video, but in the next. So got to remember it. But anyway, fingerprint scanner does work, and seems to work pretty decent. Now, you look at this phone. Okay, it's a basic stock phone. Of course, it's not activated on Boost Mobile. Now, heads up, it did want me to activate this phone before I set it up. But just leave everything turned off basically, and you can skip all of that. Anyway, look around the phone here. You will see that it seems to be pretty smooth, and right out of the gate, there's not a lot on here. There is stuff like Amazon, of course, Facebook's on everything. You got an FM radio because you got that headphone jack there on top, which is always really nice. You got your THX down here for headphones and all that kind of good stuff. So really, I mean, it will install games and stuff like that once you sign in and all that kind of stuff. But most of them can be deleted or at least disabled. So that's a good thing there as well. So let's pull the drop down here and you will see just your typical stuff here. Your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, auto rotate is off for some reason. Turn that on. Location, blah, 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 stuff like that. Got your screenshot, night light, hotspot, got cool clean. You can go down here and you can also screencast and all that kind of good stuff going on in there. So let's go into the settings here for a little bit. And we will look at the connected devices here. So you will see this says pair new device. It says multi-Bluetooth audio. Connect at least 2 audio devices to use multi-Bluetooth audio. And connection preferences here shows Bluetooth, cast, printing, files, and Chromebooks. So no NFC. Sorry, it looks kind of blurry there. Here we go. But yeah, no NFC, but for the price point, you really can't expect it, all right? And I'll get the price tag here in a little bit, so just hold on, it's coming. Display here, you got 8 enhanced HDR10 display. So right now, it's on, you can turn that off, and enhanced picture display, turn that off as well. And it does enhance, and it does look really good. I mean, this screen looks very crisp and very clear here. Let's turn on dark theme just because it looks better. Yeah, that looks a lot better, in my personal opinion. Of course, your typical stuff that you see on all of these phones here, your lock screen, screensaver, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff there. Now, down here at sound, since I can't really, since I can't hook to Wi-Fi, right now and check out the audio. You got global sound here for your THX, the headphone audio. But let's turn up the ring volume here. Okay. It does seem to be just a bottom firing, I do believe. Let's check it out here and see. Well, wait a minute. Could that possibly be a dual stereo sound? And it is. It is playing out of the bottom and the top. Now, the top does not sound great. It's very tiny, but hey, for a phone of this price range, to have basically a type of stereo speakers is pretty good. I mean, let's see here. You can hear it. Of course, the bottom is dominant, but hey, at least it's got it. I mean, I'm just surprised about that, y'all. I am. Okay. So anyway, storage. Now, you have 32 gigabytes out of the box, but you really literally only have around 19.3, which is disappointing, but 12.63 gigs have already been used. The system takes up 12 gigs, so, you see stock Android phones, it's like 7 or 8 gigs. This has got 12. So, you only get 19 and a half right at it out of the box. So once they add all the bloatware and stuff, they can mostly be disabled or uninstalled. But you do have an SD card slot. So I think up to 128 gigs. So you can, switch your photos and videos in the camera app to, save all of that to your SD card so you won't be eating up your internal storage. So that's a good thing there as well. And you got Cool Clean here, which you got your internal storage, you got your memory, 3 gigabytes of RAM. You might say that's not a whole lot, storage being 32 gigs, don't pass judgment yet, okay. But you got your battery usage here, which we're seeing here, we're at 8%. Has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Turn battery percentage on there. Battery manager, battery saver, and stuff like that. So we're going to test the battery out for sure here on this phone. Now you got your privacy, location, security. So here we are seeing that it's a face unlock, fingerprint, smart lock, and of course your PIN, pattern, password, stuff like that. And accessibility, got your system down here, which shows you some gestures. Jump to camera, the navigation. I was wondering where that was at. So you do have your 3 buttons. You got your 2 buttons down there, which I don't really care much about. But then you have the actual gesture navigation, which honestly, I like it so much better now. I thought I would never like system navigation on a phone, but after using it and getting used to it, I just can't stand the bottom buttons anymore. That's just me, but hey, it seems to work very well here. So yeah, now going here to advanced, and you'll just see some reset options and system updates. So I'm going to check for some updates when I get done here, but yeah, let's go down here to about phone. And you'll see we're running Android version 10 with July 1st, 2020 security patch. So we got to just kind of see here all of that stuff. But this screen looks really nice. I really wish that I was able to run like a speed test and stuff like that. Now, this phone has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 processor. Now, the Coolpad Legacy, the original one, I think it had like a Snapdragon 435, maybe 430. This has a 665, okay? That's not a bad processor, especially for the price point. Now, the 665 Qualcomm processor, you find that in phones like last year's Moto G Power. That was yeah, I told you about that phone. The TCL 10L that came out last year, and I think even one of the TCL 20 series they just released has the 665 processor running in it. Of course, like I said, there is some drawbacks here and there, especially when it comes to the RAM and the storage, but hey, they got to cut costs somewhere, especially for the price point. So I'm gonna get to that price point, I promise you. But anyway, let's jump into the dialer, because I know a lot of people want to know about the dialer and how to make a phone call. So of course, when you get in here, your favorites, your recents, your contacts, and this button here will of course bring up your keypad, and you dial your number and push green, and you're calling out, and you're good to go. And I got notifications going off, so yeah. And then of course you got messaging here, which looks to be like Gboard. So I'm not going to get into all of this here, because we know that Gboard, we've seen that all over the place. All right, so anyway, let's jump in here into the camera and just look and see what we have. Okay, just see how these cameras are. The original Coolpad had pretty good cameras, to be honest with you. Now, you got your little 1x button and your 2x button there. This button here, it takes a picture. Okay. Over here, this button has your filters, like your original Fairy Tale Beauty and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So, photo, HDR mode, AI mode, self-timer. This button up here, of course, takes you into your settings. So, you have a 16 megapixel and an 8 megapixel 4x3 and 16:9, and it looks to be like this also brightens up the screen when you go into the camera, which I hate. But anyway, front camera up to 16 megapixel. Default is 4x3 at 4 megapixels, so we're going to shoot that on up there. Auto exposure, selfie mirror, you can add a timestamp, watermark. Rear camera can record at 4K. Okay, 4K. All right, that's 30 frames per second, but who cares? 4K, 1080p, and 720p. I was surprised. I heard 1080p was the max, but hey, it surprises you. Front camera, 1080p, and 720. Wow, okay, that's not bad. Got your portrait shots here, of course. You got your night shot, and you got panorama, and you got professional mode here as well. Now, I don't see like an actual menu. Now, this does take a little bit of time to kind of scroll across here, because it's just the way it is, Now, let's just take I'm going to take a brief little shot here to see how the quality looks. Okay, so I took a picture there of the Coolpad box, and as I'm zooming in here, I mean, that looks pretty good. That's not bad. It was pretty good shutter speed. Wasn't bad at all. Focus right on there. So honestly, that looks pretty decent. So very interested to see how this phone is going to just react in everyday usage. I mean, the Snapdragon 665 octa-core processor, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 13 gigabytes of storage, expandable up to 128 gigs with an SD card. And this is the moment that I give you the price of the Coolpad Legacy Brisa and all that you get for what you see right here. Boost Mobile has this phone currently for the low price of $59.99. Dang, $59 for this at Boost Mobile right now. Go on, you can go right now. You can go on there and buy it. It's $100 off. It's been $100 off since it came out, from what far as I can tell. $59. You can buy this phone for. And all these features. And I'm sure that, this is going to be a really good phone. I'm really anxious to test this phone out with some games, some heavier games. I'm sorry this was such a long unboxing and first impressions, but I'm very impressed of what you can get for the price of $59.99 right now at boostmobile.com. Go on there, check it out. You can buy it. You don't need a plan, nothing. You just go on there, check out, buy it, you get it, and there it is. $59. No room to judge. There's nothing you can complain about with this phone for the price. Some of the weaker points, of course, is the RAM and the storage, because they gotta cut corners somewhere. But 4K recording, full HD 6.53-inch display. You don't get full HD in some Samsungs that cost over $200, $300 on these A series. Sometimes, and you get it here with a Coolpad. And you might say, Coolpad, well, that's not done. Don't pass judgment until you use it. That's the way I've always learned, and I've learned this. You can't pass judgment on something that you never used. So try it. If you're looking for a budget phone, this phone is for anybody who wants a phone. I don't care if it's for a parent, if it's for a kid, for a grandparent, if it's for yourself. If you don't want to spend a ton of money, why would you? These budget phones are becoming excellent, okay? But I will do some tests on it, take some pictures with it, do some battery tests, audio, all that kind of stuff with video and all that goodness. And we'll be back with a follow-up. $59, y'all. You can't beat it. So if that's helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it down below. Hopefully you watched the entire video. It didn't skip around. Hopefully you watched the whole thing, Even though it was long, I do apologize for that, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing and clicking that bell right beside it for all notifications. That would be awesome. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.